Yo, what's going on, y'all? Uh, my name is Mokhtar. Welcome to the MC Show. First video on my YouTube channel. This is just gonna be real quick intro. This is gonna be a basketball centric show, basketball centric channel. We're gonna talk all things NBA when it comes to news, predictions, trades, buyout, like anything NBA related. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, predictions, opinions, all of that, and we're gonna cover it here. Hope you guys follow me. Please like, comment, subscribe. Any sort of support is helpful and very much appreciated on my side. But hey, man, without further ado, we're gonna get started because there was like an itty bitty small trade that went on yesterday. Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet. I believe like 5 or 6 second round picks and a couple pick swaps. We're gonna talk about that. I jotted down. Excuse me, as I look at my notes, I jotted down like 3 points that I want to get to concerning this trade. The first one is the package. Bradley Beal to Phoenix for Chris Paul and Landry Shamet. That's not a whole lot. Of course, including the picks and the swaps, but that's not a lot in terms of players. But here's the thing. This is the own Washington Wizards' fault. It's their fault. A few years ago, they could have traded Bradley Beal. Instead, they decided to give him a 5-year supermax contract and give him a no trade clause. Those two things right there handicap them from getting a really, really good package for him. If this was 3 years ago, when he was averaging back-to-back 30-point seasons, then he probably would have gotten, I don't want to say a KD kind of deal, but somewhere in that area where you could get really good players in exchange for another really good player. But due to the fact that they handicapped themselves by giving him a supermax, giving him no trade clause, they effed themselves over basically for ever getting a good package. If you expected Washington to get a good package, you were sadly mistaken, because they did this to themselves. If they traded Beal a couple years ago, they would have gotten way more for him. But he has a very undesirable contract where at the end of it he'll be getting paid $57 million when he's 33 years old. Now, I don't know if you know, but $57 million is a lot of effing money. You feel me? Like, that's a big gamble for any team that's going to trade for him, any team that's going to get him. Phoenix is that team, but they thought it was okay. They wanted him. He chose it. According to Shams Charania from The Athletic, he chose that destination because he has the no trade clause. So, say what you want. Phoenix has him. Washington, they couldn't get a good package out of it. The trade, maybe they got Chris Paul back in that deal. Maybe they reroute Chris Paul to somewhere else and get more assets for that. The Clippers, I believe, are gonna be suitors for him. The Lakers probably will be. Any team that needs like a veteran point guard, because even though Chris Paul is older now, he is still a good player. He's still very productive. So teams will be trying to get him from the Wizards. But that is the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing is, I had already mentioned it, but Beal had chose the Suns over any other team. Miami was the other team that was like a finalist to get him, but ultimately he chose Phoenix. Miami, we know for a fact that their package included Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson. Not sure yet what the picks was, or we know Miami was not willing to give the Wizards a specific something. Don't know what that is. Probably was Nikola Jovic. I know Miami really likes him as a young guy, but for what it's worth, Miami even though they do need a scoring boost, they need an offensive boost. Uh, Maybe they got out of that deal because Bradley Beal's contract is way too much. They're already going to be paying a lot of money to Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler. So if they added Beal without trading Tyler, it would have been a lot of money on their books. There might be a second apron team according to the new CBA rules. So this, I guess, it's sort of bittersweet because Beal definitely would have helped Miami. I think he would have fit right into Miami. He would have taken a lot of shots, taken pressure off Beal and Bam, and Jimmy and Bam, and could take a lot of shots, handle the ball, uh, and things like that. But ultimately, he chose Phoenix, and we'll see where that goes. And the third thing I want to talk about is that Phoenix now has 163. I'm gonna say it again just in case you didn't hear me the first time. $163 million to now Beal, Durant, Booker, Ayton, and Cam Payne. These are the only 5 players that are signed to their team as of today. The only 5. And they're already above the luxury tax. So for this season and for the next few years, because Durant, Booker, and Beal are all under and Ayton too, they are all under contract for multiple years. They hard capped themselves pretty deep into the luxury tax. Now there's a new ownership. Matt Ishbia, took over for Robert Sarver. So, new ownership. He was eager to get Kevin Durant. Once he got ownership of the team, immediately was like, let's get Kevin Durant. And he got him. And then he saw an opportunity to get Bradley Beal, and he got him. So, very eager. Seems to be okay, I guess, of paying luxury tax and just trying to get as much talent as possible. But I think this playoffs, especially for this specific team, showed that you need bench help. You need role players. You can't. Star power alone is not good enough. Let's look at the Denver Nuggets. They have star power. Nikola Jokic, the best player in the league. You got Jamal Murray, who is their 2-man game is like virtually unstoppable just because of how good both those two guys are. But you have Michael Porter Jr., 6'10", can shoot the shit out of the ball. Okay. Then you have Aaron Gordon, who just averages 16 points, 17 points on straight dunks because of how good of a cutter he is, and he's a very good defender. I thought his defense was phenomenal this entire playoffs, guarding Cat, guarding Durant, guarding Brown and Davis, and then guarding Jimmy Butler in the finals. His defense was great. Then you have bench players like Bruce Brown and Christian Brown and Jeff Green. So they have their 2 stars. Then they have like their elite role players, and then you have your bench players, your other role players, and their team fit together so well. And you look at Phoenix, their problem was they didn't have any depth. Chris Paul got injured. DeAndre Ayton just was a no-show. I wouldn't blame him entirely because if you watch Phoenix, they don't necessarily give him the ball probably as much as he likes, but he just was a no-show at all, offensively or defensively, through this playoffs. And then their bench just... Monty Williams, you could tell, did not trust any of their bench players. Damian Lee, Cam Payne was good because he had to step up for Chris Paul in the starting lineup, but Damian Lee, Jock Landale, Terrence Ross, TJ Warren, he just didn't trust any of them. And that was their major issue. They were able to take 2 games, Game 3 and Game 4, because Devin Booker just went bananas and just couldn't miss. Couldn't miss. That's the reason why. And then you look at Game 5, blown out. Game 6, blown out again. Just like how they were blown out on their home floor the year before by Luka and the Mavs. And it's like, this year showed you like you didn't necessarily need another player like Durant and Booker, like because that's what Bradley Beal is. He could score in the mid range just like those two. He could shoot three at a decent clip just like those two. He can get to the basket just like those two. Those Durant and Booker. So like you want to surround players like that with people who could space the floor and who could defend. And Bradley Beal doesn't necessarily defend, and he's a high usage player just like Durant and Booker. So unless they can, I don't know, trade DeAndre Ayton for like two smaller pieces that fit better around them, this team is going to be paying a lot of money, and they're probably going to have to re-sign some of their bench players, not for veteran minimum deals either, for like real contracts like mid-level and things like that. They cap themselves. So when Matt Ishbia and the Phoenix Suns telling that they are going all in to win a championship the next couple of seasons. They are, and they have to. They have to. They already traded. They don't have any picks to trade anymore. They traded 5 or 6 and plus swaps to get Bradley Beal. They traded multiple picks. I think 4 to get Kevin Durant. They don't have a lot of picks. They don't. Unless they trade Ayton, they don't have a lot of picks. The time is now. If they're a second apron team, I believe they can't even sign players off the buyout market. So this is going to be tough to really surround them with really good players and good enough contracts. But if it works out, then hey, it works out. But to me, I'm not sure how much better it makes them than Denver. I would still pick Denver to win because Denver is just a more balanced team offensively and defensively. They have the best player in the NBA right now, Nikola Jokic. So I would choose them. Let's see what the other teams do. Free agency is coming up soon. We'll see what what Warriors do. We'll see what the Lakers do. We'll see what the Clippers and Sacramento. We'll see what all these teams do. The West looks wide open right now because you don't know what all these other teams are gonna do. But still, I wouldn't put them as the favorites in the West. They're still gonna be good, I think, offensively. Like I don't know how you stop all three of those together, but if they can somehow find a way to put relative pieces that fit around those three players, they can be a good team. It was a big risk. So hopefully with big risk can come big reward. So if you're a Phoenix fan, let me know what you think. Wizards fans, let me know what you think. Those are the 3 points I wanted to get to. So thank you for watching first video. If you could leave a like, if you comment, subscribe, turn on notification bells. The draft is coming up, free agency is coming up, so I will be dropping more content. So look out for that. And yeah, that's all I have to say.